Kind of nice to have time pass this quick on a Monday. You know, I joke about it being another stinking Monday, but I'm glad. I tell you what, buddy, I'm glad just to be here every Monday, because, well, Mondays don't affect me like they affect other people. Not when you thought you'd never see another Monday. Yeah. I remember when I was in Nam. If somebody said, hey, here's your plane ticket home. But if you take this ticket, every day for the rest of your life will be a Monday. I'd have taken the ticket. It was a living hell. But I think it made me the man I am. I showed up a scared kid, and I came back a man. I came back a man. The name on my uniform said Greaseman, but everybody knew me as Sergeant Fury. Quang Tree, 1967. We had just finished recon. We were all standing around the LZ smoking Camels. Somebody said, there's the chopper, hit the green smoke. So sure enough, we hit the green smoke as we watched the big bird. The bird that was going to take us back to cold beer in the shower. The bird that was going to give us a razor blade across the face and maybe a movie in the camp. That bird got lower and lower when suddenly, almost from out of nowhere, incoming! Return fire! Send a helicopter to break off at the hot LZ! 5-inch one dudes can't get that low here, but grab some real estate! But I was busy shouting commands, passing out ammo. I was running more than I was yelling, Corbin! Corbin! But suddenly something hit me. Felt like a sledgehammer in the middle of the back. And then everything went black. The battle kind of faded into the distance. I drifted in and out of consciousness. And the next thing I know, I was out like a light. Well, when the crazy escalator ride back to the land of the living ended, I was in a hospital. I felt like I was wrapped in bandages. And the most beautiful creature I ever saw was staring down at me. She said, hi, Marine. I'm Nurse Hodges. Robin Hodges. I said, Greaseman, Nino. Good to meet you. Got a smoke? She lit a Camel and put it between my lips. She said, what are you doing with an oxygen tent? She shouted to the doctor down the hall, what's this man doing with an oxygen tent? I didn't order an oxygen tent. I said, hey, easy. That ain't no oxygen tent, lady. That's the hydraulics. She said, my God, you are a man. And so we began a flirtation. I was due to be in that hospital for a month. And every day she'd make sure she'd come by my bed. Finally, I grabbed her. I said, listen, sister, who are we trying to kid here? You like me, I like you, kiss me. And I grabbed her and I pulled her down to me and her lips were on mine. At first she resisted. She said, no, they warned us about this in nursing school. Sooner or later we'd meet some wounded soldier. We'd fall in love. Oh, God, it's wrong, but I want you. Take me, you big hunk of man, you. And so there, as we were surrounded with other men with tubes going in and out of them, respirators going... Robin Hodges and I made the sweetest love of my life. Every day when the doctor checked my wounds, I almost wished that he'd say, oh, now we're going to have to keep you in here a while longer. Because every day, when the doctor was gone, Nurse Hodges would come back. Oh, it was exquisite. She said to me, you know, Nino, I've never felt this way about another man. And I said, yeah, you know, I thought I'd seen them all come and go. I never thought I'd feel like this about a dame either, but... Tell you something, Robin. I think I love you. She said, I love you too, Nina. I said, let's get married. She said, what? I said, yes. Yes, let's get married. Tell you what, I gotta go back, but I'm a short timer. I got 2 months left. I'm gonna tough out those 2 months. I'm gonna be the hardest damn honky to kill that those Kong ever saw. When that 2 months is up, and they ship me back stateside, I'm gonna send you money for a plane ticket. Now, you've done re-upped for 2 or 3 tours. They gotta let you out of here. When I send you that money, I want you to get on the next available bird back to the States. And we're gonna get married. I'm gonna take you back to Mom in the Bronx. We'll have a big plate of pasta fazool. We'll celebrate. She said, you sure? I said, yes. She said, oh, God, I love you. I said, I love you, too. Sure enough, I was released. I kissed her longingly at the door. She said, I tell you what. There's a bus that comes that takes all the guys back, and it passes the same way every day. When you get on the bus and you're going back to the base, I'll be standing on the bridge. The bus has to pass underneath this bridge. I'll be up on the bridge waving to you. Will you wave to me? I said, sure, baby, I'll wave to you. Bye, honey. Bye. Kiss. And so, with my heart soaring, I got on that bus and I headed back to do out my 2 months. I was sitting there composing a note to my mother. Dear Ma, you never would have believed this out of me, but I'm getting married. That's the most sweetest girl in my life. She's so wonderful. She's everything I'd ever hoped for. And as I'm writing the note, these 2 other guys get in the bus who are also wounded, also heading back to the base. And I hear them talking. One of them says to the other, hey, did Nurse Hodges give you the send-off? The other guy laughed. He said, you mean old Bob and Robin? And I looked up. I started listening. And yeah, I hear, as a matter of fact, she gave all the Delta Company a little send-off. As a matter of fact, I got my send-off just now. Hey, did you hear some stupid Marine's gonna marry her? Figures, huh? Yeah, well, she's been working the unit for long. Figures sooner or later somebody fall in love with him. Probably a guy ain't seen too much action. Gets a little hot with the guy right away, you gotta get married, you know? Yeah, well, more power to her. I tell you what, that was the best 6 weeks I ever spent in the hospital. Every night she was by there. I mean, she was insatiable. Matter of fact, just now, in the cloakroom on the way to the bus, she was... The paper tore in my hand. Steam came out of my ears. I sat there as we approached the bridge, and there she was, waving from the top of the bridge. Bye, honey, bye. As I pulled back the bolt on my Uzi, she said, don't forget to send the money. I leaned out the window. I said, I won't. Here's the first installment. Yeah!